All right, let's jump right in. We are about to go deep into one of the most tense, profound, and honestly, one of the most misunderstood encounters in all of sacred literature. We're going to peel back the layers of Jacob preparing to meet his brother Esau after 20 long years apart. And let me tell you, this is so much more than a family drama. This is a cosmic event. And the report his messengers bring back, well, that's the key that unlocks the whole thing. I want you to really picture this scene. The sun is just bleeding out across the horizon, painting these long, menacing shadows all over Jacob's camp. The air is thick, It's thick with the dust of the road, but it's even heavier with this feeling of anticipation. And then, out of the gloom, you see them, the messengers. Their steps are heavy, their faces are grim, and you can just see the tension of what they've witnessed etched onto them. There's no relief in their eyes, just this stark, urgent warning. And in that single moment, any fragile hope for a peaceful reunion just shatters. It's replaced by this low, distant rumble of an approaching storm, a storm of 400 men. The entire atmosphere shifts from hopeful prayer to high alert. Now, you might read this and think, okay, it's a field report, but in the mystical tradition, every single word is weighed, it's measured, it has a purpose. The Zohar tells us these weren't just men, these were angels. And their report isn't just news, it's a spiritual diagnosis. It's a cosmic readout of the forces at play. This one sentence, this is the catalyst that forces Jacob to confront a reality that is so much deeper than just a simple sibling rivalry. So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the literal story, the report from the road. Then we're going to zoom way in on a message in 2 words to uncover the hidden code. From there, we'll explore the epic struggle of brotherhood and battle, and then dive into the really deep stuff with the metaphysics of animosity. After that, we'll break down Jacob's threefold defense as a kind of blueprint for all of us. And finally, we'll understand the ultimate purpose of this whole thing in rectifying a broken world. It's going to be a complete journey through all 4 levels of understanding. Okay, so let's start on the ground floor, right? The literal meaning, what the sages call pshat. After 20 years in exile, building a family, building a fortune, Jacob is finally on his way home. But there's this one massive obstacle standing in his way, the unresolved trauma with his brother Esau, the brother he fled from after taking the birthright and the blessings. His goal here, his number one goal, is reconciliation. So Jacob's opening move is pure diplomacy. He sends this angelic delegation with a message of peace, a message of appeasement, saying, "Thus says your servant Jacob." He is completely humbling himself, trying to bridge that 20-year gap. He's gathering intel for sure, but he's genuinely, truly hoping to hear that time has healed the wound, that Esau is ready to just move on. And this is the moment his hope just curdles into dread. The report is the absolute worst-case scenario. It's not a message of, hey, let's talk this out. No, it's a show of force. The text says Jacob was very afraid and distressed. And you have to understand, this isn't just everyday anxiety. This is the bone-deep terror of someone who understands that his past has finally caught up with him, and it's not a memory. It's a 400-man army marching straight for him. So let's level up. We're moving to the next layer of understanding now, the remez. This is the world of hints, of illusions, of codes. In these sacred texts, no word is ever accidental. The exact phrasing of that angelic report is like a spiritual data packet, and Jacob, being the mystic that he is, knows exactly how to decrypt it. Check out the dual message here. It is so precise. The angels say, "We came to your brother," and then immediately they clarify, "to Esau." Now, that's not redundant. Your brother acknowledges the connection, right? The shared source, the biological and spiritual root they have from Isaac and Rebekah. That potential is there. But then they say the name Esau, and that signifies his core essence. It tells Jacob that despite 2 decades, Esau is still Esau. He is fundamentally unchanged. His inner nature has not gone through tikkun, that deep spiritual process of rectification, of healing, of upgrading. He is still a force of raw, untamed spiritual energy. And then comes the number that just seals the diagnosis, 400. Now, on the surface, sure, it's a troop count. But in the world of Kabbalah, numbers are never just quantities. They are qualities. They are signatures of specific spiritual energies. And let me tell you, 400 is not a random number. Here's the crucial part. 400 is the symbolic number representing the full, unmitigated power of Zoar, or what we call severe judgment. It's the maxed out expression of what the mystics call the left side of the cosmic tree. So when the angels report that Esau is coming with 400 men, they are delivering a terrifying metaphysical message. Esau isn't just bringing soldiers. He is manifesting the complete spiritual architecture of hostility. He's literally marshaled the full force of unrectified judgment and is bringing it all to bear directly on Jacob. Now we can go even deeper, to the drosh level, the allegorical layer, and see how this all builds. This external conflict between these two brothers, it's a physical drama that's playing out a much deeper, universal battle. It's the struggle that's happening inside every single one of us, and within the very fabric of creation itself. The Zohar explains that Esau is the archetype of the klipa, the husk or the shell. I mean, think about a fruit like an orange. The peel, the husk, it develops first, right? And its job is to contain and protect the precious inner fruit while it ripens. Esau is that primordial, raw energy. He comes first to kind of draw out and embody all the coarse, unrefined spiritual gunk, which allows Jacob, the inner essence, to emerge pure and holy. And here you see the two opposing forces just perfectly personified. The Jacob principle is that drive for truth, for harmony, for integration. It's the soul's mission to connect and elevate the world. The Esau principle is its polar opposite, raw, material force, unrectified judgment. Mystical texts even link this to the filth of the serpent, that spiritual static that was introduced into the world and that needs to be refined. So Jacob's fear, it isn't just about physical survival. It's this profound existential dread of understanding that this isn't just his brother. It's the embodiment of the primary counterforce to his entire life's mission. And that brings us to the deepest level, the sod, the secret. To really truly get what's happening here, we have to look under the hood. We have to look at the cosmic engine driving this whole thing. We have to look at the sephirot, the divine attributes that literally form the blueprint of reality. Esau is the living embodiment of the sephirah, of gevura, strength, judgment, restraint. Its color is red, just like Esau was described as being reddish. Now, gevura is an absolutely essential divine force. You need it. It sets boundaries, it creates distinctions, it enforces consequences. But, and this is a huge but, when it's not balanced by its opposite, chesed, which is kindness, it becomes harsh, destructive judgment, or din. The mystical texts have this amazing image for this imbalance. The kings of Edom who died, primordial worlds of pure judgment that couldn't sustain themselves and literally shattered. Esau embodies this raw, untempered force. Jacob, on the other hand, is the archetype of Tiferet, beauty, harmony, truth. Tiferet is the central pillar on the Sephirotic tree. Its whole job is to receive the expansive, loving energy of kindness and the restrictive, discerning energy of judgment and blend them into a stable, harmonious, and beautiful whole. Jacob's very essence, his whole purpose, is to create that life-sustaining balance. This table just pulls it all together so clearly. Look at the two sides. You have Jacob, or Israel, rooted in Tiferet, whose whole principle is harmony, and his cosmic job is to integrate and balance. Then you have Esau, or Edom, rooted in Gevurah. His principle is unrectified judgment, and his cosmic role, to be that raw, untamed power that challenges and forces the integration to happen. You see? This isn't a family feud. It's a structural tension built right into the architecture of reality. And the messenger's report is the final confirmation that the Gevurah side of the equation is way, way out of balance and is coming in at full, raw power. Okay, to put this whole cosmic drama into terms we can all get, think of it like a video game. You've spent 20 years grinding, leveling up your spiritual stats, and now you're finally heading to the final zone. But the reports come in. The final boss you ran away from years ago is on his way. And guess what? He hasn't changed his attack patterns one bit. He's still a rage-fueled warrior, and this time he's bringing his entire army of 400 minions. You can't just run. You have to use every single skill you've acquired. Your diplomacy skill tree, which are the gifts, your divine buffs, which is prayer, and your tactical strategy, dividing the camp for war. Or hey, for a more technical-minded crowd, here's the cosmic engineering version. You've got two systems, Jacob and Esau, and they were both forked from the same original source code. Let's call it Isaac. But Esau's system, the Gevurah operating system, has diverged. It's running on this hostile, unintegrated architecture. The report comes in. Not only is that system unchanged, it's scaling up to maximum capacity, launching 400 hostile processes aimed directly at your system. As the architect of the Tiferet API, your job is integration and harmony, so now you have to execute a complex, multi-layered protocol, sending data packets as gifts, opening a direct line to the main server with prayer, and creating system redundancies by dividing the camps, all to survive the encounter. And this leads us right to Jacob's response. Because he gets the full metaphysical reality of the situation, his reaction isn't just blind panic. No, it's a sophisticated, three-pronged strategy that addresses the threat on every single level of existence. and what he does is a timeless blueprint for confronting any form of unrectified force. And Jacob's response is just a masterclass. First, he deals with the physical plane with gifts. He sends wave after wave of livestock, engaging Esau's raw materialism. This isn't just a bribe, it's a strategic move to sweeten the harsh judgment on the earthly level, to try and pacify the external threat. Second, he elevates the entire conflict to the heavens through prayer. He connects directly to the source, appealing to the divine promise. This takes the battle out of the mud and draws down mercy from above to counter that huge metaphysical force of Gevurah. And third, he grounds himself in reality with war preparations. He's not naive. He doesn't just rely on diplomacy or faith alone. He divides his camps. He prepares his family for the absolute worst-case scenario. Gifts, prayer, and war, it's a complete, holistic defense for a complete, holistic threat. So you might be asking yourself, okay, but why? Why did this have to happen? Couldn't Esau have just changed? Couldn't Jacob have taken a different route home? And the mystical answer is a clear no. This encounter wasn't some cosmic mistake. It was a necessary and ultimately productive step in the grand process of Tikkun Olam, the ultimate healing and rectification of our fractured world. You see, the goal was never for Jacob to destroy Esau. That power of Gevurah that Esau represents, it's vital. Without it, there are no boundaries, no definition, no strength. When it's finally rectified and balanced, it's a holy and necessary force. Jacob's mission was to confront this raw, unrectified power, to survive it, and in the process, to complete his own transformation. This is the moment he graduates. He levels up from being Yaakov, the heel grabber, a name that implies cleverness and maybe some indirectness, to Yisrael, one who wrestles with God and with men and prevails. He could only achieve this final state by confronting the full force of his opposite and integrating its challenge. And this brings this whole epic, cosmic drama right into our own lives, doesn't it? Because we all have an Esau to confront. It might be an external person or situation, but more often than not, it's an internal force, that unrectified anger, that harsh judgment, that chaotic impulse. So the question to really sit with is this. When you face that force in your own life, which part of Jacob's blueprint do you reach for first? Do you go for the physical appeasement of gifts, the spiritual appeal of prayer, or the practical preparation for war? And, maybe more importantly, how can we learn to use all three in perfect harmony? Thank you so much for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We really hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe and let us know in the comments which part of the journey really resonated with you. We'll see you in the next chapter.